Lecture 1, Introduction, Shan-e-Nuzul and Major Takeaways from Surah Al-Baqarah. Introduction to Surah Al-Baqarah. Surah Al-Baqarah is the second and longest surah of the Quran, consisting of 286 verses. It was revealed in Medina over several years and addresses a wide range of spiritual, social, and ethical matters. Known as Al-Baqarah or Cow due to the reference to the story of the cow in verses 67 to 73, it provides comprehensive guidance on various aspects of life. This surah establishes the foundations of Islamic faith, focusing on the importance of belief, the laws of Sharia, and the role of the Muslim Ummah as witness to truth. It also includes Ayat al-Kursi, verse of the throne, in verse 255, which is considered one of the most powerful and revered verses in the Quran. What is the Shan-e-Nuzul or circumstances of revelation? Surah Al-Baqarah was revealed during the early years of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, migrating to Medina. This period marked the establishment of the first Islamic state, and the surah addressed the challenges faced by the Muslim community. Conflict resolution. The Muslims of Medina were surrounded by various groups, including Jews, Christians, and polytheists. The surah was revealed to provide guidance on coexistence and resolving disputes. Legislative framework. The surah contains laws regarding fasting, prayer, inheritance, marriage, and business dealings, ensuring the ethical foundations of the new Islamic society. Covenants and accountability. It reminds the people of the book, Jews and Christians, of their covenants with Allah and the consequences of deviating from divine guidance. Spiritual and social reformation. It called for purification of the soul, unity of the Ummah, and a strong connection with Allah. What are the major themes and lessons? Major themes and lessons include Tawheed. Surah Al Baqarah emphasizes the oneness of Allah and calls believers to worship Him alone. It highlights Allah's attributes, His knowledge, and His sovereignty, especially in Ayatul Kursi. Guidance for believers. Characteristics of the righteous. Believers are described as those who believe in the unseen, establish prayer, and spend in the way of Allah. Accountability. The surah stresses that humans will be held accountable for their deeds, and only through submission to Allah can they attain success. Stories of the past. The surah recounts the stories of the prophets, including Adam, Ibrahim, Musa, and others, as lessons for believers. It emphasizes the consequences of disobedience and the blessings of following divine guidance. Sharia, Islamic law. Fasting, prescribed in verse 183 as a mean of attaining taqwa, zakat, and charity, encouraged as a mean of purifying wealth and assisting the needy, riba, usury, strongly condemned in verses 275 to 279, highlighting its exploitative nature. Marriage and family life provides guidance of family laws, including marriage, divorce, and inheritance. Ayatul Kursi is the part of Surah Al Baqarah, encapsulating the majesty and authority of Allah. It serves as a protection against evil and a reminder of Allah's omnipresence and omniscience. Unity of the Ummah. The surah calls Muslims to stand together as a single community, promoting justice, mutual support, and adherence to Islamic principles. The test of obedience. The story of the cow reflects the test of obedience faced by the Israelians and serves as a warning and lack of faith, to avoid the stubbornness and lack of faith. Dua and supplication. The surah concludes with two powerful verses, 285 to 286, that contain a supplication for forgiveness, mercy, and guidance. These verses are highly recommended to be recited regularly. Key takeaways from Surah Al Baqarah: establish faith, strengthen your belief in Allah's oneness, His power, and His guidance. Seek knowledge, learn from the stories of past nations, and understand the consequences of disobedience and stubbornness. Follow the law, Adhere to the ethical and legal principle outlined in the surah, practice taqwa, develop consciousness of Allah in every action, foster unity, work towards building a unified and just society, avoid riba, engage in fair and ethical financial dealings, trust in Allah, recite Ayatul Kursi for protection, and conclude with the dua in verses 285 to 286 to seek Allah's mercy. What is the conclusion? Surah Al Baqarah is a comprehensive guide for life, offering lessons in faith, law, morality, and spirituality. It reminds us of our responsibilities as individuals and as a community, emphasizing the need for obedience to Allah and unity among Muslims. By reflecting on its verses and implementing its teachings, we can achieve success in this life and the hereafter. Jazakallah khair. Khuda Hafiz.